Hey everyone, it's David Michael. Just a really quick update for kind of a recap of my weekend finds. Really, like I said, a really quick video. There wasn't a whole lot this weekend, but some okay stuff. Um, by the way, cheers everyone. Um, just a really quick observation. Before I clicked record on my phone here, I kind of something that kind of came to my mind this morning as I'm laying in bed and I can't sleep after work, and my dogs are yap 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 barking and I can't sleep, and so what do? You piss around on your phone. So I'm on YouTube and I'm scrolling through my suggested feed, and of course it's a lot of vinyl find videos and things like that from people you subscribe to. Then of course it throws in lots of people that you don't know, and like I said, I don't know what made me think of this, but I'm scrolling through and I'm noticing one very common thing about almost every single YouTube video that's vinyl finds, and I'm just as guilty too. Well, if guilty is the proper term for it, but everyone's screen cap for their YouTube video looks like this. Everyone's, and I'm scrolling through. I'm like, unless you know the person's face that you subscribe to, you wouldn't know one video from another. And I'm not sure if that's because, like, in my case, that's what YouTube. They'll give you a couple suggested screen caps, and that's always one of them. And it's better than some random shot of me rubbing my face or I don't know, scratching somewhere inappropriate. I don't know. But I just thought that was really weird. Like everyone's screen cap is pretty much more or less the same. I don't even know why I bring that up. I had a good laugh about that this morning, but that could have been exhaustion as well. So some really quick vinyl finds. Sorry about that. This is my one new purchase that I got in the mail Friday, I believe it was. My copy is really kind of just worn out, played out. It wasn't that great to start with when I got it, but this album is probably. I don't have a lot of regrets when I go to record fairs. I don't have a lot of regrets. I'm not really too shy on pulling the trigger of things I want and need. But this particular album, a couple record fairs ago, there was a guy who's not. There was a guy there who's not a normal vendor. I think he just took a table out to sell his personal collection, and it was really amazing stuff. I bought a lot of records off him. Like I got a copy of the first Ramones album, very first pressing from the U.S., which was kind of a big deal for me at the time. I mean, I bought a lot of really great stuff off him, but he had a first pressing of this album. And it's one of those times where I had spent a lot of money already, and, I was kind of going a bit overboard, and I'm there to sell records. I'm there to make some money. I used that money to kind of fund trips for me and my wife, and that's kind of why I have my wife work my record fair tables. It's kind of, I need that, you need checks and balances, and she kind of keeps me in line a bit. But this guy had a first pressing of this album there, and I'd bought so much stuff from him. He goes, you know what, last hour, like a lot of vendors do, the last hour record fairs, they reduce their stuff. And he said, last hour, come back. I don't think anyone's going to buy this. I think he had like a $40 price tag on it. I could be wrong, but even that was a good deal at $40. But I just didn't pull the trigger, and then he said, come back last hour, it's going to be on sale. So I go back last hour, and of course it's sold. So that's, that's my bad for not pulling the trigger, but as the chances of seeing another first pressing of this album in my city kind of around in such good condition is probably slim to none, but that's probably one of the only record fair regrets I ever have. But I got a new copy of Hoffman's first album. This is the recent double vinyl reissue that has about 4 bonus tracks on it. And I noticed another thing I noticed about people's YouTube videos who vinyl finds is that a lot of people are just really kind of, it has to be original pressings, and they're not really too keen on new pressings, and some people just don't care, and that's fine. If you're into just original pressings, I mean, that's totally fine. And like I said, some people just don't care either way. As I get older, the importance of having original pressings is kind of less and less and less. Although I might talk about it, in reality, it's kind of, you know, this Hoffman reissue is perfectly fine with me. Like I said, I'm quite happy with the bonus tracks on it, to be honest with you. But I can't. Sometimes I just can't be bothered keeping up with the original press game. So for $20, I mean, that was a hell of a good deal on this one. So that was my only new vinyl purchase last week. Was Hoffman's first album, a much better copy than I already own. Like I said, there's not a lot to show today, so this might be my shortest video ever if I stop, like my dogs, if I stop yapping. I got an upgrade copy of Roger Waters' The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. Of course, the cool thing about this is that it has the uncensored bum sleeve. Like I said, a really nice upgrade. I don't know what to say about this. I'm not Roger Waters' solo material. It's kind of spotty at best. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of this album, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the merits of The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. It's an okay album, but a decently priced upgrade copy with the uncensored sleeve. You know, obviously, I think Amused to Death personally is probably his best solo album, if I had to pick one, but I wasn't going to pass that up. The next little few here are going to be my cheap finds of the weekend. A copy of Deep Purple Made in Europe. This Made in Europe album is the Glenn Hughes, David Coverdale lineup, which I actually almost, a lot of times I prefer over the Ian Pace lineup, to be honest with you. The Glenn Hughes, David Coverdale lineup had a little bit more R&B, funky kind of feel to it, almost. And a lot of times I kind of prefer that sound over the straight-ahead rock Ian Gillan sound. But having said that, I like both bands equally. They're just different bands to me. But I was quite happy with that find. I'm guessing this was recorded on the Stormbringer tour, as the song Stormbringer is on it. So, a pretty informed guess on that one. So that was a nice pickup. Made in Europe, Deep Purple. A couple really exciting finds for me. I don't know how exciting they'll be for you, but I really love REM, and so I don't actively go out and seek their singles online. Like, I don't buy them on eBay or YouTube. You can tell I just woke up. I don't buy them on eBay or Discogs, but if I see them in the wild, I definitely pick them up because the cool thing about REM singles is the B-sides are so awesome. They kind of made a concerted effort to put some really nice B-sides on their singles. But I found two REM singles that I didn't have and I've never actually seen before. These were relatively dirt cheap. I got the single for Stand. Really great song, really horrible chorus. But the album this is off of is Green, and I really love that album. That was a kind of important album in my life in high school. So and the B-sides are an acoustic version of Pop Song 89 and a previously unreleased live version of Skin Tight. So nice. This is a UK 12-inch copy of Stand. Ooh, almost dropped it. That's the back side to that one. And this one I've never actually seen before, and there's an odd thing about the vinyl I'll show you. It's a promo 12-inch single, I guess a DJ single, you would, I guess, ostensibly that's what you'd call it, because all the remixes are done by 808 State. This is a 12-inch promo single for The King of Comedy by REM. I don't even know if you care to see the label, but The King of Comedy was off their Monster album, another album I think people either love or hate. A lot of people sure bought it because I sure see that CD, and I could probably buy 5 copies a day if I went to thrift stores. But I've never actually seen the King of Comedy single. Like I said, it has 4 remixes by 808 State, and I really love getting REM singles where they have remixes on them. I have a copy of Drive, and the remixes off that are freaking fantastic. I play them DJing sometimes. So I'm really excited to hear what a remixer would do to REM. And these ones are okay. I've only played the first side, but the remixes are okay. It's probably what you would expect from 808 State. But the odd thing is the vinyl on this is ultra heavy. Like, I mean, heavier than 180 gram heavy. which is really weird. It feels heavier. It feels like almost 200 grams. Which as you know, as I've stated before, I have tons of 12-inch singles behind me. I've never seen one like this ultra heavy, which was cool. So yeah, that was my second REM find for relatively dirt cheap. Was a promo 12-inch for the King of Comedy off their album Monster. I have two finds left. One is really ultra cool, and one is kind of cool if you want to kind of just cast your mind back to the time. So let me take a drink before I go into this one. You're gonna roll your eyes. I swear to Christ you are. But I've never seen this on vinyl in my hands, and it's probably not the rarest thing in the world, but in my parts, you never see this on vinyl. MC Hammer. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Don't laugh and don't... Hang on, the next find is better. But I've never seen this on vinyl. And I'll be honest with you, what year is this? 1990. So 1990, me and my friends were probably at the time were really into kind of a lot of punk, going to punk shows, and that's the time we were also going to a lot of those I've talked about early rave shows. We were kind of doing a lot of we were just going out, seeing music and hearing music. Didn't matter what it was. But the only other single I can kind of compare to You Can't Touch This is Young MC's Bust a Move, where all my friends secretly, we all had that single, but we didn't want to tell each other. We did. So I definitely remember, I don't know if I went to the mall specifically to get that single, but everyone freaking loved that song. But like I said, it was kind of ultra nerdy or not cool to tell your friends you had it, unless you were really kind of out in the open about liking that kind of music. But I never I'd go into the mall and picking up that cassette single and then being, you know, not letting my friends know I had it, and then going to my friends' houses and kind of singing it on their tape deck. So I remember the same thing with the Young MC's Bust a Move, getting that cassette single and then not telling anyone, and then finding out your friends have it too. So you kind of blew your cool on that one. But I wasn't going to pass this up. In fact, I'll play my retro nights. This might come in handy for DJing. I've never actually heard the full album. I've heard the singles, but I'm not so concerned about my image to show this that I don't. You know, I bought MC Hammer. It was cheap. It was a couple bucks. So there you go. Okay, so this is the one find that may redeem me from that, although I'm not embarrassed about that, MC Hammer. This was Friday night out thrift store shopping with my wife, and it was a horrible night. She didn't find anything, and I was on the verge of finding nothing. It was just one of those nights that we probably shouldn't have went out and wasted the gas money, but you never know, right? So this is probably, I think, our last stop of the night. Like every other stop I make, I'm looking through the bins and shit, crap as I'm flipping. And I've gotten quite adept at pulling albums really quickly out while I'm looking that might look interesting that I'll have to look later. So I'm pulling crap. That looks interesting. Put that under my arm. And I had to Google this really quickly because the name The Outsiders didn't ring a bell right away. And then I kind of look at the album title, Time Won't Let Me. I think I kind of remember a song called Time Won't Let Me. So, like, of course, I Google it and then I YouTube it to listen to it. I'm like, yes, Time Won't Let Me. If you go on YouTube or whatever means you have to listen to music really quickly, if you listen to The Outsiders' Time Won't Let Me, we will all know that song. But I found an original mono pressing in the shrink of The Outsiders' Time Won't Let Me. Garage rock, pop. It's on the poppier side of the garage rock. Sorry, the shrink and my cover on it is kind of glaring everything. But an original mono pressing of The Outsiders' Time Won't Let Me. Apparently quite a valuable record I got there. There's the original Capitol label. So that's one of those times where kind of being able to spot the odd interesting thing in a pile of crap came in handy. So yeah, and I brought it home, cleaned it up, and it plays really nice, and it's a really good album. Like I said, for garage rock, that's a little bit more slightly poppy, I guess. It's a really good album. So to me, that made the night all worth it. I found a really, I guess, somewhat rare garage rock album for a couple bucks. So didn't make my wife's night. sure-made mine. So sometimes you gotta be selfish about things. And that's all I have. And this is probably on par. Yeah, I'm looking right now. This is probably on pace to be one of my quickest videos ever. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap things up here, and this will be my. I don't know when I'll get time to go record shopping again. So I'm sure I'll have one later in the week. So I'm gonna end it right now. This has been David Michael from the vinyl community, and we'll see you again. Take care, everyone.